Welcome to Peace Freaks, a parenting and family podcast for the freaks, geeks, nerds, and weirdos, the outcasts who went on and had their own. We're used to being the exception to the rule, so come along with us as we try to also live exceptionally. We're here to help make you the best version of your freaky family. Welcome, everyone, to episode number 113 of Peace Freaks. I am Nikki P, here as always with my lovely wife and co-host, Lizzie. How are you doing, babe?
Hey, I'm doing all right.
Are you really doing all right, or are you just kind of saying you're doing all right?
No, I'm really doing all right.
We had a busy couple weeks here.
Yeah, we have.
Like, I've been working more. Really, that's all I'm thinking about is that I've had a couple of extra busy weeks here.
Yeah, it's actually died down a wee bit, but I mean, it's kind of a manufactured slump because we all know people are getting checks and buying things and shipping things, and we're getting closer to the holidays, so
That is undoubtedly happening.
yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
Well, let's start this out the way I like to start it off at. What have you been reading lately?
Honestly, not a lot of books per se. I found more books to read. We read a great living book, I Vivaldi. It's called, because we were doing Vivaldi music for music appreciation, and this is actually a book about Vivaldi as a kid, so it was a good one to get the kid engaged and maybe a little past the fact that it sounds like fancy ballroom music. But no, I've been kind of following my religious exploration thing also, but not necessarily book-wise, a lot of podcasts. So,
Well, what kind of podcast are you listening to?
Messianic, Jewish, Messianic, non-Jewish, I guess. I started asking a lot of questions about that whole Messiah idea, and it led me down some interesting avenues.
I like that you call it messianic.
I don't really know if that's the correct pronunciation. Honestly, I'm completely out of my element in this world, and that's interesting to me.
Messianic is typically how that word would be pronounced.
Messianic. That maybe, yeah, probably.
Messianic. I feel like like a body of water.
Okay, maybe Messianic. But yeah, no, I'm out of my element as far as this goes, and that's very interesting.
Why is that? You're not used to studying religions? That's always my thing, not yours.
Well, no, I am used to studying religions, but it occurred to me that like a lot of the other religions sort of borrow from each other a lot more, and the Jewish religion has been kind of very specific to its own thing for however many centuries, and that was really intriguing to me. So then I just wanted to kind of start digging into it.
Oh, no shit. People that believe they're the chosen people would keep their religion pretty pure?
Well, no, but I mean, a lot of the religions believe that they're, special, quote unquote, or they have, specific whatevers, but most of them, also sort of borrow things from other things and other things borrow from them. That just the Jewish faith is very different in that. So yeah, it just made me curious. And, I continue to be curious because I keep kind of not coming across what I would expect, I guess.
Well, how about you just stop pussyfooting around and read the Masks of God collection?
I've read them.
All of them?
Maybe not every single one of like the series, but I definitely read Maps of Meaning. I've definitely read the first couple of the Masks of God, and I read something with hero with 1,000 faces. Like,
yeah, everyone's read a hero with 1,000 faces. It's just the idea of a hero's journey.
Yeah, I've definitely been down those roads to a certain extent. I will read the Mask of God. I don't have a problem with doing it, but
there's just so long. What are those books, like 800 pages a piece and like dry?
Well, yeah, that's never been a deterrent for me though, because I mean, I read the freaking Silmarillion for fun every year. So, I mean, whatever.
They're still so dry.
I'll take the ride. I don't care. I mean, I read, Maps of Meaning. That's not exactly, light reading.
I didn't find it was all that bad.
I made it halfway through Mises. Man, Economy, and State. I still hack into that now and then.
Yeah, I've got to at some point here. So are you changing religions or something now? You're becoming Jewish?
Well, I really just am on a search for.
So you need some Viktor Frankl?
Something I can really. No, I've read that too, and I don't. I get where he's coming from. One thing that was really interesting to me was like I didn't realize that there was a whole anti-Semitic thing kind of attached to the idea of the Christian church, because when I was growing up, like I thought Jews were awesome. Like their religion was like super cool to me.
Yeah, and you thought you were Christian, Liz.
Yeah, I didn't realize that wasn't the normal thing.
Like if you're not Catholic, you're not Christian.
Well, yeah, there's that whole Catholic thing too. That was weird in my upbringing. We had weird ideas, okay?
The Christians blame the Jews for killing Jesus. That's it.
Well, yeah, that was never my experience. I didn't realize that was a thing. So
in my experience, most religions just didn't pay attention to them.
yeah.
Well, whatever your journey takes you, honey, as long as it doesn't take you away from me. That's always been my rule.
I know, and I appreciate your being willing to kind of let me do what needs doing.
So she's been reading like all kinds of like highfalutin, thoughtful literature.
I guess.
Meanwhile, I'm over here listening to frickin' Sherlock Holmes and John Watson swashbuckle a bunch of monsters.
I mean, which sounds fun.
I finished up the other two in that Cthulhu Casebook series, books 2 and 3. Sherlock Holmes and the Miskatonic Monstrosities.
Okay.
And Sherlock Holmes and the Sussex Sea Devils.
Ooh, fancy.
And it's a very tight 3-book series. They tell you up front it was going to be 3 books. And the whole thing is designed as like basically this guy who's like a related to Lovecraft distantly somehow gets these manuscripts from some English family or something. And there supposedly are 3 books that were written by John Watson.
Okay.
But that were kept secret.
Oh, okay.
And so they actually take place at specific times within the actual canon. That's to be like they actually.
Okay, so like in between the novels you know about, basically.
Well, it was written as an addendum to canon.
Okay.
And like John Watson talks about how, in the books he'll mention, well, when I wrote this in such and such book, it was just a way to make it more palatable for like the people because they never would have been able to take the reality of it, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And so while these adventures are all new, it does reference other things and kind of add to those stories through the commentary.
Okay.
And it's real interesting. The book ends like it ends like there's an actual end. Like it kills off Sherlock Holmes and Watson. Not in the course of the story, but like as part of the book. Like it's written kind of like John Watson writing way after the fact.
Okay.
It says eventually he died and eventually I died, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the last page is in great Lovecraftian homage is actually the publisher talking about how the guy who transcribed this book went mad transcribing it, and we've decided to keep everything in here intact as we would imagine would have been his wishes. And hopefully he'll be out of the asylum at some point. He's been making great progress. And it's like the last page before that was like where he's all of a sudden starting to like repeat a Relayan phrase, your Lovecraftian, phrase into. He's like, I'm not typing this, and then all of a sudden, the publishers, we found him in the beach, just with this, mumbling this phrase over and over again, non-responsive to people.
I see.
It does that. It does the Lovecraftian thing where it ends exactly you'd expect Lovecraft to end the thing,
Right.
But
madness.
anyways, so that's what we've been reading this week. It's been I've had all that drive time at work, so I've been managing to get them in.
Nice.
So, folks, we'll throw it out there. If any of you want to be guests, you have a parenting story you want to show people for a Wednesday episode, your product or service your families might appreciate. For a Friday episode, we're always looking for new guests, new people to talk to, new stories to share. I love talking to new people. It's fun for me. I like meeting people.
Yeah, totally.
Get a hold of us on social media or peacefreaks@nickmccone.com. Also, if you just want to send in a topic and you don't want yourself to appear on the show, you can send those in as well.
And we know that there's work to do. Revolutions happen overnight. What's a man supposed to do with his gunpowder appetite?
So today's topic, it's going to be a doozy, isn't it?
I mean, it's gonna be what it is.
I've spent the past couple of days saying, Liz, shut your mouth. Save it for the camera. Save it for the recording. Because
You have.
I've got some feelings about some things.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's real stuff. It's a real conversation.
Shows the Monday episode is just going to be us working through our marriage, apparently. That's all this is what it's going to be.
I mean, if it works.
So, for all of you out there, does teamwork really make the dream work? Is where we're coming from. And this all stems from an episode that we and Liz had. What were you were having difficulty waking me up in the morning because I don't sleep ever.
Yes, right. And then you want to be like awake at a certain time in the morning, and it is really outside of my wheelhouse, being able to force you out of bed when you are clearly exhausted and don't want to get up.
I want to get up. I'm just not good at it.
Well, okay. Conscious you wants to get up. Unconscious you wants fuck all.
Well, fuck that lazy fuck. The hell gives a shit about what lazy Nick wants to do? Fucking sleepy time puss boy.
I know, I get it. Anyway.
We got shit to do in our lives. I can't spend my whole life fucking waiting to wake up. That's why I need help.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But the conversation was Liz hates doing anything I ask for when it comes to, I need you to do this thing. You don't want to do it. It's not something you're going to be happy to do, but I need you to do it.
Yeah.
And if I haven't also mentioned, I'm very convincing when I'm half awake.
This is true.
Like, I can absolutely fucking snooker you into believing I'm completely conscious.
Awake enough. Yeah.
And I am nowhere near it. Not even possible.
And it's not even a matter of really the phrase that came up in the conversation, and this encapsulates the entire issue, is you were saying, I need you to do this thing. And when I need you to do something, I'll tell you I need you to do it. And you just try not to need me to do anything.
Yes. And that was the thing. Like,
yes.
I have always considered our marriage a team. We are on Team Picone, and I am here to do whatever you need me to do. All you have to do is ask.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost frustrates me more when you don't ask for help than when I have to ask you for help. I'm completely comfortable admitting where my faults are and knowing that I'm fucking something up and that I need help to work through it.
Right.
You, on the other hand, refuse. And I can sit here and watch you over and over again fuck something up strictly because you won't ask for help. It's frustrating watching you struggle with shit that could easily be handled by me if you would just ask and alert me the fact that you need help. Because while I'm all willing to help, the fact of the matter is I'm often very tied up and very in my own shit, that I'm not trying to overtly pay attention to you because I assume we're adults that we handle our shit, and if we can't, we ask for help.
Right.
And while we've made huge strides with your level of assertiveness over the past couple of years and your ability to be comfortable around people, I mean, there's still a degree to which it's like pulling fucking teeth to get you to stand up for yourself and ask for things that you need. And,
I just don't like needing things. I don't like needing people. I don't like needing help. I don't like needing things.
Which is retarded. That's fucking stupid.
I understand. I'm not saying it's logical. I'm not even saying it's helpful. I think maybe it comes from, not being able to depend on people. And so I'm uncomfortable depending on people.
I mean, I feel like I've proven myself in the years we've been together that at least I can be relied on.
Right. But I don't have a frame of reference for that. Like it doesn't occur to me because it isn't part of my vernacular naturally. And I need to develop that language, and that that's a personal growth thing that I need to get there. But it's not natural to me. Well,
like I said, it's just weird that it manifests itself in these two specific ways.
Yeah.
And it's that, like, see, while you don't ask for help, I don't know if you use that as your excuse to feel like, well, he doesn't really need my help when I ask for it.
Well, no, because you asked me to do a lot of other things, that I'm not particularly excited to do, and I do them. I think that particular situation, just for whatever reason, is frustrating to me because I'm looking you in your face and you're either non-coherently telling me you're coherent or
Well, it's because you're doing it wrong. You need to sit down with me and actually discuss the methodology, which I need you to actually do.
Yeah.
Like, you're never, ever going to get me to be awake while I'm still laying down, Liz. Like, that's just not going to happen.
No, I agree. But I'm also not physically capable of pushing you around in any meaningful way.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to say, hey, there's a butcher at the door.
Oh, okay.
Like someone's stolen Irma. Have you seen the kid?
Yeah.
There's plenty of ways to terrify me awake.
Okay.
Or, hey, can you help me move this shelf right now?
Yeah.
Like my need to help you and desire to help you will kick in at some point.
Right.
Because until you actually need something, you're just fucking sitting there trying to annoy me. And the fact of the matter is honey, I've dealt with you and Irma long enough. Like,
Right. Nothing I'm going to do is going to be more annoying.
yeah, I'm really adept at drowning you out if I need to. I love you guys, but
The stuff I inadvertently do that annoys you.
but between your chewing and Irma's terrible jokes,
Right.
like I'm really good at just no, you guys aren't there.
No, and that's fair.
But I mean, it's just odd to me. I don't know that I've ever. Maybe it's the level of familiarity and comfort we have with each other. I don't know that I've ever really thought about it being a thing before. I've always just taken for granted that that's specifically what marriage is we just have created a team and now we get to take on life together.
Yeah. And I don't see it as not that. I don't see us as not a team.
You've just never been on a team before.
I don't know how teams are supposed to work, I think. So I just assume like I do all my stuff. And if someone asks me to do stuff, then I'll totally do that stuff too. And
what's funny is I'm not a sports person at all.
yeah.
But I have spent a lot of time on various teams of different types, I suppose.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think your family even functioned that way probably more so than mine did.
He was Coach Pacone for a few years there. Didn't call him dad.
Yeah. So, that is just kind of part of your inheritance that I didn't really have.
I just don't feel like it's such a complicated thing, though. It's literally just asking for things.
I mean, it probably isn't. And if I were less neurotic, it probably wouldn't be an issue at all. But I just have my habitual things that I do, and that's not one of them.
Yes.
Asking for help is not one of them.
Her, instead of asking for help, she'll have panic attacks and huddle up, eating a tray of brownies in her room, hiding from everybody until she can think things through.
I mean, maybe I'll just, have to like have a long walk and like actually get in touch with my feelings for 5 minutes.
That's cute. You think that anything you do is a long walk.
Well,
now granted, a long walk to me these days is, from my room to the upstairs. So I'm one to complain, but you take a lot of long walks lately, Liz?
I mean, I'll go around the block a couple times. I'm tuning out Irma while I'm doing it or listening to Irma while I'm doing it, but
I suppose.
I don't. I actually, we talked about it this weekend because I had like my office day, I used to call it, where I'd like to sit in my office and kind of go through my notes and my journals and my calendar and kind of get all my thoughts together and stuff. And I haven't really had that in my routine. And then I used to get up on the weekends and I'd have a few hours before everybody got up, and I wasn't working on the weekends. So I'd have a few hours to just kind of, okay, again, I'm in my office or I'm cleaning the house and I've just got like quiet brain decompressing time. And I really haven't had that. One, because I haven't scheduled it, and two, because I haven't had, a weekend. So, and we just talked about, that I need to kind of work that back into my calendar because I don't function as well without it, apparently.
No, you need to know when things need to be done.
Yeah.
I'm a checklist kind of guy. I like having checklists. Do these things. That's why it's finding good checklist programs is my biggest thing I do with my phone. Checklist apps, finding the ones that work.
Yeah.
Calendar apps that have good integrated checklist systems, things like that.
What do you have that works for you?
Honestly, I like Google Calendar. I used to really like Jordy, but Google Calendar syncs up to more things, which makes it useful.
Yeah.
There's only a few things that I wish could be done differently in Google Calendar.
Mm-hmm.
As far as checklists go, honestly, I usually just set stuff up in my Evernote.
Yeah, I think I've gotten more used to putting things into Evernote, especially if they're things that, we both need to work on or at least be able to look at. I have gotten more accustomed to that.
It's the greatest piece of software ever.
Yeah.
Just everything you need to know so you can get it wherever you need to get it. Your special information.
I have found that useful.
I guess, so the question is, so what can we do to, I guess, maybe work on teamwork in our relationship? Do you have any thoughts? Like how?
Well, I mean, I was, just having like Evernote someplace where I can think on not on paper, but on a screen and have you at least be able to access it. I think that has helped as far as communication goes. The actual physical, things like me stopping in the middle of freaking out and saying, oh, you know what? I could probably ask Nick to help me with this. Or waking you up in the morning. I don't know. I think we're probably just going to have to physically work our way through that.
Okay. I mean, communication's not really the issue.
No.
I mean, you have some communication things, but that's mostly because you don't communicate with yourself very well.
Yes, because again, I don't make time to communicate with myself.
I don't know if it was just something that I was born with naturally, but like self-actualization or whatever it is, and managing to be, the taking stock of your person is always something that I've naturally done, I think.
Yeah.
I try to be as open with myself as possible.
And I think we were just kind of, okay, maybe I was just trained to kind of make nice and keep everybody happy. And that required a lot of stuffing, whatever sort of thing that you have going on that may interrupt what everybody else, has going on.
Well, we know that's not my family. We come out swinging. Red-blooded American, Liz. Wear our heart on our sleeve.
I know. That's why I love you guys. I appreciate that about you guys.
There's no mistaking how Nick feels ever. And he'll sure as hell let you know.
No. Well, no, and I've never been good. I've never been good at hiding my feelings. Like everything shows on my face. Everything comes out in, my conversation, or it comes out somewhere.
By the way, this is totally true, people. This is usually like me getting frustrated because I can see she's having a problem. It's obvious as hell.
Right.
And yet she doesn't realize she's having a problem yet.
Right.
It hasn't registered for her.
I might not necessarily even be aware of it because I just have like all of those displays switched off on the inside of my suit.
Like, honey, you look like someone just shot your puppy.
Right. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine, I think.
I don't know what you're talking about. And then I gotta wait a couple days.
I don't know what I'd be upset about. And then, I'll be like, oh, okay. It was that thing happened, and I think I was upset about it.
So I think teamwork does make the dream work. Unfortunately, sometimes teamwork does not come naturally to all parties involved.
Right.
Even if you know it's the ideal, sometimes it just takes some work.
I guess I'm just blessed to have you on my team.
Maybe. I like being on your team. You're my favorite teammate.
Me too, you.
All right, folks. Well, how about this, Liz? What's going on in the garden this week?
Okay, well, in the garden, we are wrapping up the tomato harvest. We got sauce going. We got salsa. We pulled a squash out of the garden. Not really sure what else we're gonna get. We actually have more blossoms, so I'm kind of just trying to let that go. We've still got cucumbers going out there. I don't know how. It's been like 46 at night, so I guess I'll just kind of let them go until they stop. And getting more things out like lettuce and peas. I have not had a lot of success with peas. Like they'll sprout, and I've even gotten a few pods, but they haven't been happy. I don't know if it's still too warm or what, because we're still in the 70s, upper 70s during the day.
I don't know. I was just about to say, like, is any of our stuff starting to sprout at all?
Yeah, no, we've got turnips and lettuce and all those things sprouting, and we've even got peas sprouting.
Oh, joy. Turnips.
I've just had a couple of them, die off after sprouting, so I'm kind of like, okay, well.
How Soviet of you.
Turnip. Hey, they're a good crop. I've got radishes out there too. We'll get some pickled radish maybe.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I do like me some pickled radish.
Me too.
How about on the homeschool front? How's all that been going?
On the homeschool front, we keep trucking. We actually went to our nearest local library.
Are you on season 2 yet?
No? What do you mean by season 2?
Look, she needs to be doing it twice as fast as it's supposed to be done, Liz. That's how Pecones roll. I want her in the 5th grade by next year.
Found more living books and a lot more engaging stuff. And she keeps finding joke books, which at least it's getting her to read.
She does seem to like joke books.
Oh.
More than Daddy likes the joke books.
And chapter books too.
Gonna read them Tuttle Twins book.
Yeah, actually, she loves the Tuttle Twins. We could probably.
We need to get more of those.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could probably get more of them. She finished 3 in a day. So
where are we on? What do you call it? Where are we at benchmark wise?
Benchmark as far as going through the week.
I mean, just is she making good progress by your estimations? Have you had to mess with the our curriculum that we're working on?
I mean, the only thing that we've had to adjust as far as the curriculum is just the math and science. The workbook are pretty basic.
Yeah, so I was hoping she'd finish them in the first couple of weeks and we'd be done with it.
No, and I get that. But I mean, even she, I think, notices that okay, this is probably less work, less challenging than it could be. So we've supplemented with some Khan Academy and that sort of thing. But we're definitely moving through it. She's not falling behind math-wise.
Good.
Yeah.
So, well, if you like what we're doing, folks, head on over to peacefreaks.com for the show notes. Links to the stuff we talk about. If we talk about books, authors, or apps and things like that, we usually tend to put them in there. If you want to connect with us on social networks of your choice, you can also get those over there. I don't know if you're a Parler person or a Facebook person. I'm hardly ever on Facebook. Took it off my phone and my tablet, and God, life is so much better. Unfortunately, they won't leave my phone alone. I miss the days when they used to not call me about political ads on my cell phone. It was usually a landline thing.
Yeah.
And now it's constant, every day at least one.
It's pretty
Getting
gross.
text messages from people trying to tell me who to vote for, and I just tell them that voting is violence.
Yeah.
Stop being violent against me.
I'm sure that goes over well.
It can spur some conversations, that's true.
Yeah.
So if you like the show, please hit that subscribe button wherever you're hearing this or seeing it, whatever podcatcher you're listening to. If you want to help spread the word, liking and sharing on your preferred social network, it's huge. The algorithms are not in our favor. They hate everybody these days, especially if you don't want to give them obscene amounts of money for barely any return.
There's that.
ROI is not great these days. So if you want to do us one better, you can go rate and review us on iTunes. I think that's the only rate and review system that's available or that works. If there's someplace else you can do it there, why not? But on there, it will actually help to get us in the charts and stuff and whatever it is there. And the more folks we can get in there, the more folks can get into our little weird community here. So if you want to donate to us, head on over to upgradetheshow.com. You can help offset the costs of running things. It will not go into our pockets. It will be used strictly to grow the show. So anything extra and above running the show will be used to advertise. And we can take both fiat and crypto, depending on how normie you are. Anyone who gives us a review or donate will get a shout out, Casey Kasem style, on an episode of the show. So just email a screenshot of your review or, your receipt of sending us stuff. I will still get that. I want to know who to make it out to when I'm doing my misconnections. So send that on over to peacefreaks@nickfricone.com. Anything else we needed to get in here, babe?
Thanks for listening, I think.
Take it easy, folks. Peace. This podcast is a proud creation of the Mad Audio Lab. For more information, check out madaudiolab.com. Peace Freqs is part of the Liberty Hippie Podcast Network. If you like what we do, be sure to check out Homesteads and Homeschools, Free Markets Green Earth, Cannabis Heals Me, and This Week in Liberpods. We're living proof that libertarian doesn't mean washed up Republican.